Hello, welcome back to Fallout 76. In the last few weeks, Minerva's been selling the plans for items like jetpacks and shielded linings for under armor. All very useful items of course. But the issue is that they require stable flux to make. I covered the different ways to get stable flux in a previous video. Feel free to watch that for a more comprehensive look at the topic. But if you want a particular type of flux and lots of it, then usually you'll have to farm for it. And that involves walking into a nuke zone. And of course, radiation is a concern. In the previous video, I talked about how you can minimize your radiation with stealth suits and power armor, using starch genes to avoid losing mutations when you drink Radaway, and so on. But it seems I forgot about one trick. I was reminded of this by one of the comments in the video. Full credit of course goes to Rumpelstiltskin for sharing. Yes, there's a way to avoid all radiation from nuke zones. After reading that, I vaguely recalled using it when I still needed to farm for flux. But that would have been about 1,000 levels ago, and that was so long ago that basically it's a quote-unquote new trick. So consider this to be an addendum to that video. Okay, so how does it work? You first need a suit of power armor, and it's also useful to have a hazmat suit or a stealth suit. Move to the edge of the nuke zone. It's a good idea to wear your hazmat suit to avoid getting a massive dose of radiation if you walk over the edge. It will take some trial and error, but you want to be just outside the nuke zone. You want to be facing towards the nuke zone. Then go to your inventory and activate the power armor to place it in front of you. It's a good idea to put the fusion core before you try and enter it to minimize the amount of radiation you take. Then enter the frame. See? No clicking from radiation. This is happening due to a bug. The animation will take you inside the nuke zone, and you can even hear the clicking from the radiation while the animation is happening. But for some reason, the game seems to see the inside of the power armor as being quote-unquote outside the nuke zone. So basically, entering power armor in this way is like walking around in a bubble of clean air. You still take radiation from sources like fissures. That's where the clicking you hear is coming from, but you're getting zero radiation from the nuke zone itself. Let me just run around for a bit so you can see that it's not just a temporary thing. This will reset when you get out of your power armor or you die. But aside from glitches, there's other ways to manage your radiation. Obviously, Rad-X and diluted Rad-X are available, with the caveat that full Rad-X suppresses your mutations. But for something stronger, you can use Radshield. You learn the recipe from the Unorganic Solution quest at Diochemical. That teaches you the recipe to craft Radshield, which gives you 300 radiation resistance. And even better, it stacks with itself, so you can take as many as you like. There is a cap on how effective resistances are, so you should still rely on hazmats and stealth suits in areas like nuke zones. Radshield complements them, it doesn't replace them. Unfortunately, to make it you need Strangler Blooms, which are rare. Previously, you needed to check the area around Diochemical and hope that someone had done the quest in that server. But if you have the Bunny Apothecary camp item, then that's a pretty reliable source for blooms. Make sure to use the chemist and super duper perks from crafting, and you should have as many as you need. So yes, you can go gaily gallivanting across someone's nuclear fireplace without consequences. Or at least you can until you run into the big bad Earl at the little house in the woods.
Granny, what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with.
Yes, in case you didn't know, a legendary Wendigo has a chance to spawn around here if you nuke the place as part of the Scorch Queen Beast event. But too bad for little Earl that nobody warned him about the real monsters of the Fallout world.
Are we the baddies?
Yes, David, we are. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. See you soon.